Brad, are you there?
Yes, thanks, Terry.
Just want to check in. Brad, can you just hear me?
I can hear you, Terry.
Oh, awesome. Can I just check everybody could hear Brad as well, please? Okay, all yes is coming through. That's awesome. Okay, Brad, they can hear you loud and clear. So, Brad, firstly, I want to say thank you for being in our hot seat for this month. It's been an amazing journey, I know, for you as well. And I thought I'd just bring you up, have a bit of a casual chat, and I'll pass it on to you. And of course, I'll guide you through what I know a lot of our students want to hear about. But it's going to be a very casual chat, and just want to hear about your experience. So, we're all good to go, Brad?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, Brad, can I just check in with you, with our group? Where are you from, and what do you actually do for a living?
So I'm from Melbourne. I have various hats. My full-time career is as a critical care nurse. So I work permanent night duty in a cardiac unit. And apart from that, I've got a very small business helping people with their personal money management, and sort of moving into helping them with rapid debt payment, or getting their debt paid off using US-based software.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember hearing you talk about that, actually, Brad. So with the, I'm actually quite particularly interested in what you just mentioned about that personal money management, because I think that's something that a lot of, not only our members, but I think a lot of people need. So what is it that made you get into that part of the business side? Besides being a nurse as well, looking after people.
Just because there's so many people who struggle with day-to-day money management, and I've never had a problem with being in a huge amount of debts before, but I've always thought I could manage my money better than I was, and so having access to the software that I now use and coach my clients with has really helped me be more focused financially, and sort of I'm very being nursing for such a long time, very customer focused. So I just sort of transfer all those sort of skills into my business.
Yeah, that's actually awesome, because I think, yeah, and I see that, the care that you've got from people on the personal side, and now you're actually helping them on the financial side as well. And I think that's a great, yeah, that's definitely a great thing you're doing, because a lot of people, even if especially when they want to start their investment journey, the fundamental side is, how to manage your own expenses, how to manage your own finances, to enable you to even have for example, like a savings plan that allows them to continue, pumping more money of their excess, savings into, the stock market or investing.
Yes.
Yeah, so Brad, thank you for sharing that, because what I might do is after this hot seat as well, for those who are interested, please let me know, because I'll definitely put you in contact with Brad, because I think Brad is definitely, what he offers is definitely something that can potentially help you as well. Is that okay, Brad?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you, Terry.
No worries. And Brad, how long have you been with Blueprint, and what's been your experience so far?
So Terry, I signed up and started in September last year, and just loved the Blueprint course. Just the bite-sized chunks of information, the small videos I just loved, and I was going well with that, and I was getting my my own property refinanced to get some money to invest for share trading, and that was taking a lot longer than I had anticipated. And so around Christmas, January, sort of I sort of lost focus, and then decided, well, no, I need to get back into it. Got back into it and really put the effort back into learning about share trading. I did some paper trading, which wasn't overly that successful. I was focusing using stop gaps and that, and they sold out. Some of my paper trades went well, but it wasn't until the 29th of March that I actually placed my first actual investment with real money. And I've only up till now, I've only sold 7 of my stocks. I'm sitting at about 7.12% ROI, but I've got 22 stocks live positions currently. So if someone told me like 12 months ago that I would have done that this time next year, I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah, I did see your portfolio, and you know, the point that I think people should also what I think I've just picked up on is the part where I know you've been with me, you know, since of course September, and it's really good to see, and this is a message for everyone as well, that you know it's perfectly fine that you know, we're all human. We do lose focus from time to time, you know, from family matters and whatever your personal circumstances may be, that you just lose that loss of focus for a number of months. But it is so important that you were able to get back into it and know that yes, that was something you wanted to do, and that's the reason why you joined Blueprint for a reason, way back a number of months ago. And just being able to lose focus but pick back up, which is so great, good to see. And another point I picked up was, you talked about paper trading being not successful, but when I look at now, I did look at your spreadsheet about the stocks that you bought and you sold, and I know it's only been since end of March, so it's been what, about 3 months into it. But just seeing the results that came out of that compared to say your paper trading results, it seems to be the paper trading results, although it didn't seem to be successful, but in terms of the real side, it seems to be far more successful. Would that be correct, Brad?
Yeah, certainly true.
Yeah, and Brad, why would that be? Because of course you've done the paper trading for a while versus say the real side, because now you've got real money on the line. What happened that changed? Because you are definitely far more successful on the real side versus the paper side.
Well, I changed my focus. Like I was really stressed about whether I was going to buy something as an investment or a trade, and about using stop losses. So now I use position size as my number one risk management system, and then I look at smart money. So I don't actually place stop losses anymore. I buy just in big companies. I know that if I have to wait for them to sort of bounce back up, I'll wait. So I don't feel that stress anymore, that worrying about that the stop loss is going to kick in and then I've sort of lost more money.
Yep. And I've got your portfolio up that you were kind enough to share as well, Brad. So thank you for that. And I just want to stress how it's important that whenever we start, we don't focus on the money side. No matter how big our portfolio is, small or big, it doesn't matter. It's focusing on being able to get the things done right. And I always prefer to always, especially when you're starting, to always start small first, and you can scale up. And we've got a number of members. Trisha is on the line, Valerie's on the line, and that we all started small, including myself. And once we get the confidence there, we can easily scale up. So it's not the dollar amount, but the actual return that we are looking at. And just from looking at the ones you've been able to sell out on a small portfolio, it doesn't matter, because that builds up your confidence. And the returns that you're making, as well as the I guess the decision making process from I did look at the buying date as well as the selling date. It's actually quite extraordinary from what you said as well. And just that focus, that turn of focus, does change things. So it's actually great to see, Brad.
Thank you.
And Brad, before you got into Blueprint, going back last year, what type of frustrations did you have, or did you ever experience in regards to investing for your financial future back then?
Well, when I was in my early 20s, I I had $5,000 saved up, so I approached, I think it was a financial planner at the time, and bought $5,000 worth of stocks. And then the big market correction back in '89.
Right.
So they didn't do too well, and then I sort of did nothing for years. And then probably about 8 years ago, a friend and I, we went to this, one night presentation on stock. I can't even remember what sort of stock market thing it was, but we were sort of all the hype and that they're using to get people to sign up. And so my friend and I signed up, and it was like $7,000. So we put in $3,500 each towards this course, and did nothing with it. So it was $7,000 just wasted. So when I think I saw one of your things on Facebook last year, and I wasn't too sure. And then I saw that you were linked with authentic education with going to the wealth thing in Queensland last year. I thought, oh, you must be be able to be trusted from that point of view, and set on your webinar, and the rest is history.
Right. And Brad, you mentioned your first course, that you spent $7,000 and sort of did nothing with it. What was the main reason why there was nothing done? Was it because of either fear, or was it the course itself, or what was it that was the difference, that you basically did nothing versus this time?
I think it was probably a number of factors, like timing, and I sort of just let life get in the way. And I didn't really know what I was supposed to be learning, and there wasn't the coaching that like you provide, and there wasn't the community there to sort of get feedback from. You're sort of very much on your own, and so it was hard to build up any confidence to move forward with it.
Right. Yep. Okay. So really, it's regards to, I think what you mentioned is it's this sort of holding hand plus the community that's helped you most to get you actually started. Would that be right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, great. So Brad, what would you? I know you work as a nurse. You run your own business on the finance side as well. So, and of course, you're now investing, trading, and scaling up over time. So, what would Brad's typical day look like? And how much do you actually spend in terms of time-wise towards this portfolio that you're trying to build?
Well, working permanent night duty, there's no such thing as a typical day for me.
Okay.
It depends on whether I'm working or whether I'm nights off. But generally, if I'm on nights off, then I tend to prepare for my possible trades the night prior. I run through stockcharts.com, run the scans, check what comes up for both buying and selling, and then if there's potential there, well then I'll get up generally by say about 5:20. It's with this current time zone. If I'm working, I will have some stock codes written down with a number in brackets as to how many stocks I intend to buy if I get the opportunity at work to quickly place a trade. Doesn't always happen. So with my body clock, I'm still trying to work out what's the best system for me.
Right.
In terms of time commitment, I at least an hour a day. If I'm on days off, I put more time in than that. Overall, if you're to do it on a like hourly basis, my return would be very low for the amount of time I've spent on it. But the thing is, I don't classify it as work. It's pure interest and enjoyment. So the amount of time I put on it doesn't worry me. And just to see my portfolio slowly increase is all the reward I want.
And I hope everyone gets that as well, because see, with Brad, you know, when we start out small and our portfolios doesn't seem like much, however, you know, and then you, for those who say, oh, is it actually worth it when you calculate sort of dollars per hour that you're spending? One must never forget that, you know, the journey starts with that first small step, and your portfolio over time will definitely get bigger. And it's so important that we don't focus on the dollar amount and what we are actually making, but on the skill that we're attaining. So going forward, as we compound, and then we have the confidence that we, besides the portfolio growing, but having the confidence to then place more funds, you know, through either home equity or through, you know, like a savings plan, through excess cash reserves you've got, you know, from your job or business. That over time will scale its portfolio, and that's when the real returns comes down the track. So you know, hopefully you got that from what Brad just said, because he's enjoying the process, and it's really so vital that we enjoy the process along the way. There's no point in doing something if we actually hate it, and you know, try to make it as systemized as it can, so it becomes an enjoyable process while we're learning as well. And you know, mistakes happen here and there, but every single part is just a learning process. So yeah, thank you, Brad, for actually saying that you actually do enjoy the process, because you know, our blueprint, the main thing is I wanted to make this as enjoyable as it can be, rather than sort of over analyzing something and doing nothing with it, but being able to, you know, spend a small amount of time, analyze a number of stocks, get used to it, and the process, and then just, you know, placing you know, buy and sell orders automatically over time. So thanks, Brad, for that share. And so, Brad, you know, in terms of the impact-wise and outcome that you're seeing going forward in the future, you know, looking out, what do you see as the impact and the outcome for Blueprint and Inner Circle that's providing for your financial future?
Oh, look, you know, down the track, I think it'll be huge. You know, I live quite a frugal life, but I'm very interested in, you know, making the world a better place. Certainly, I've got a passion for wildlife, especially African wildlife. So, to me, learning this share trading will be a vehicle for me to help financially support some charities who work in the wildlife sector, as well as will give me the opportunity to go out and actually volunteer a lot more than currently. So I intend to keep doing the share trading till either physically I can't or mentally I can't. You know, as far as retirement is concerned from this, that'll be the only time I retire from it.
And Brad, don't forget, Warren Buffett's in his late 80s and he's still going strong. So,
exactly.
So this is
I'm hoping for the same, Terry.
This is a game that you know, there's actually a couple of what you just mentioned. There's a couple of similarities between even yourself and Buffett, because Buffett is extremely frugal. Like, he's lived a frugal life all his life, although being the second or third richest man on the planet. Lives very frugally, very humbly. And then on the other hand, when you mentioned about the wildlife and, you know, creating charities and being volunteers for the wildlife side, that actually connects with me very a lot as well, because that's always been my love, going out there, you know, visiting these you know, wildlife sanctuaries, and, you know, helping where I can as well. And that's been my main goal as well. So we're actually quite similar in that regards, Brad. Yeah, which is awesome to see. So, Brad, in terms of your journey so far, you know, what are one or two takeaway lessons and actions that you can sort of share with the group that's been vital to your success so far?
Well, I think the first one is position size, and that's like I said, that's my main risk strategy. And you know, I've listened to your videos sort of driving to work, and that so many times, and you know, the one thing that sticks in my mind is, you know, never no investment or trade should ever make you or break you. and that's firmly cemented in my brain. And so that's, where your position size obviously comes into it. So initially my position size is sort of 1%. I'm gradually increasing that now up to 2.5%. And then as my portfolio grows, I'll start winding that back a bit. But I'm just getting the confidence to scale it up a bit. So it has taken time, but every time, when I make a sale and I can see that I've made a profit, well, it just builds your confidence up that bit more.
Yep.
And, especially for the all the new people, starting Blueprint, big thing I would say is, don't hesitate. Just put a small trade in or investment and give it a go. Don't be afraid to, invest a small amount. Start off small, gradually build up, but just get into it and see what it does for you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Brad, for that share. That's awesome. So in summary, position size, and when Brad said, no, which is actually so great that you remembered, no position should ever make you or break you, and then that's so true, especially in our game, because sometimes we get overconfident, over cocky, and we think that nothing can go wrong, and then we put way too much on an opportunity, and then it blows up in our face. So it's really important that we keep our position size small, but also the other thing too of just getting started and taking action, because going back to what Brad earlier, his paper trading is one thing, and the results didn't really show. But then once he got into the live side with the complete investments, but also I saw his the investments he's still currently got on, and seeing that somehow that the focus, because there's real money on the line, even no matter how small, because there's real money on the line, you now start to take it very seriously. And that's when you really learn a lot more, when there's something on the line, no matter how small. So yeah, it's a good share. Thanks, Brad, for that.
Pleasure.
And Brad, would you? I know everyone here is actually a Blueprint and Inner Circle anyway. But would just the question? Would you recommend others join Blueprint and continue their Inner Circle journey?
Oh, certainly. It'll be ages before I actually pay off my initial investment through my trades now, but that doesn't worry me. I can't believe how much my life has changed from just the amount of energy that I've got towards putting towards the share market since I started trading back in late March. My life's completely different from that point of view, and I'm loving it, and I couldn't recommend it high enough.
Awesome. No, thank you for that. And Brad, is there on your end, is there anything that you would like to ask me?
No, not at the moment. I'm about to head off to work in a minute, so
Oh, okay.
But thank you for the opportunity, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight. I feel a bit of a fraud because I haven't, my portfolio is very small, and I haven't had a huge success, but I was really stoked to get the invitation. So thank you.
Oh no, not at all, Brad. Never say that, because that's the reason why I also wanted you on the line as well, because in the past I've been showing, of course, 6 members with a lot of trades, a lot of investments, and I also want to have a bit of a mix up as well, where there's showing where there are some members who have sort of started but then stopped and then restarted their journey again. But as long as you get back into it, so I want to show this is just it's normal, and there's not only students from not in different all walks of life, but everyone has their own, I guess, their life and their own circumstances. So it's just wanting to show that no matter where you start, then you stop and then you restart, and now you're actually getting into it. And I just wanted people to hear that from from someone like yourself, Brad, and that's the reason why you're here. So never say that you feel like you shouldn't, you don't deserve to be on a hot seat. It's definitely worthwhile to have you on the hot seat. So can I just also get comments about what Brad just said and what I just said? Is that okay? Because I wanted to make sure that Brad feels that it's the right thing that he's on the on this hot seat as well. Yeah, Andrew's got well done, done, Brad, and a great start. Shirley's got a balanced perspective. Thanks, Brad. And for example, I know, for example, like Shirley being on the line, she's also had that same like you too, Brad, same thing. And there's a lot of other members that are sort of they've started their course, then they stopped it, and then they're restarting it. So I wanted to make sure that you're on the line to show people that it's just perfectly normal, and it's not everybody who does Blueprint from the start get-go succeeds straight away. There's challenges here and there from family perspective, and it's just perfectly normal. I'll just read a few more. Chris has got great work. Thanks for the insight, mate. Morella's got great work. Keep it up as well. D's got, it's so good to see someone trading in the small dollar amounts that I'm trading, and I feel normal now. You see, Brad, for example, just inspired D. Thanks, D, for that. Yeah, Wayne's got awesome work, Brad. Alan's also got definitely a great thing to have Brad on. I've just started and I don't have a lot to put into my portfolio, so it's good to see this side of things. Aaron, I like this comment regarding not worrying about the hourly rate of return. Chester, thanks, Terry. It's great to have someone like Brad on, inspiring for me who is restarting. Another one. Paramajit, it's got great stuff, Brad. Good to hear. Your journey. Barry's got great to learn from a small portfolio and what you did initially to invest. And I've also had lost of focus as well. Penny, good to hear from a beginner and see how he's making profits from by following the process. Jesse, great to see even stopping and starting will see results, and it is reassuring. Maggie's got well done. Great to see that you have started again and that you're having success. Keep it up, the great work. Jenny's takeaway was from your interview: feel the fear and do it anyway. Have to start to get traction and lessons and confidence. And Jenny's another one who's very similar situation as well, Brad. Ian, real and down to earth. Well done, Brad and Terry. Greg's got my feelings are the same, Brad, and I am also with a small portfolio, but have confidence I am on the right track like you. Keep up the great work and good luck. And Shaz has got thanks for sharing, awesome advice. Yeah, so Brad, definitely a lot of all these comments coming through is they're very happy that you've been on the line, which is awesome.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so Brad, I better not hold you for too much longer. I better let you go because I know you need to go to work very soon as well. So thanks, Brad, for this. And Brad's this whole thing is being recorded. So for those who either missed part of it, it's going to be online in our Inner Circle member as well area. So thanks, Brad, for tonight.
All right, thank you very much.